What is up, guys? So we are still working on the build-off bike, of course. I have had to order more spoons. This is where we left off on the last video. Ran by a few of the dollar stores we have around here, and they only had like 8, maybe 10 left. So went ahead and I ordered like 70. I think they're the right ones. I hope. I don't really know how much it's going to matter. As long as this area all looks the same, it basically gets covered anyway. So, but so far you guys seem to be really digging this. I'm glad that you like it. I am in love with this, so super cool. Anyway, I think while I'm waiting on my spoons to come in, they were not going to come until midweek. I do need to go ahead and make the posts here and here for the legs, or for the chain stays. I've got still plenty of this thicker 0.083 1-inch tubing. I'm going to do it like I did a few other frames ago, where I ran the back legs going across, swooping from front to back. So they're going to be connecting to there. They're going to swoop up to here so that it attaches to the seat. Fender will come in. I am going to run it so the leg will run down all the way, and you're going to, not like I did on the scooter, where the scooter I stopped it on top of the post. This is going to run past the post, so like that. Anyway, what I need to do is figure out how long I need to cut these, put them in the tube notcher, try to get both sides exactly the same, which is always fun, but we'll see. At least I got enough tubing. I've got plenty of 1-inch over there. Everything's already bent up, so it'll be attaching this, figuring out how high I need to move this up, because this is set for a 26-inch wheel. This will be a 29. I think I kind of want my ride height here. It is low, probably less. You probably can't maybe fit your foot under here, but for the look I'm going with, and this isn't going to be much of a rider, I think that if I go with it being that low, it's just going to really set off that look, with the frame really sitting down inside the wheels. So, and because of the legs I'm doing on this, I'm able to do that without the chain getting in the way. So the chain's not going to hit anything like it normally would hit the upper chainstay legs. It's not going to hit those because they're all swooping down and they're in one direction. So yeah, I think we'll get working on this, because either way that's got to get done. Still need to cut the bottom bracket out, and then I need to figure out what I want to do in here. The idea that I had was going to be to do some type of wood coming in here, but this was before that, so now I don't know. I still have some ideas. I don't know. We'll figure it out. But either way, let's get on these legs and get moving. Hey guys, quick interruption. Super sorry for this, but hey, I am trying to hit 10,000 subscribers, and when I do, I'm going to have something super special happening. So hit that subscribe button if you're watching. I'm getting like barely 20% subscribers that are actually watching the videos. So help me out. Hit that subscribe button. Maybe throw me a thumbs up too. Helps a lot with the algorithm. Back to the show. Very much eyeballed these, but basically what I'm trying to do is get both sides exactly the same. Pretty close. I may have to, you know, if it's off at all, I can come in and trim it up with the grinder, but they are the same exact length, which is what was most important to me. So I'm going to clean these up, and then we'll slide them into the frame and see how they look. So there is both tubes just inserted right now. They're just going to be in there loosely until I have the legs, because I like to leave these so that I have some side-to-side room until I get them exactly where I want them. And then, like I said, that's going to attach down like that, and then we need to come pretty far up because I need the spring to attach. The seat needs to be about there, so we want that spring there. So as you can see, this needs to come way up. We're going to be, with running a 29, we need to move the bracket up, which is really cool about having this much adjustability. I do draw lines where I left it before, so I know that I'm at the 26. I have actually done a 29 on this before, so I wrote it here. But because I want it as low as I want it, what I'll do is stick the wheel on here, figure out how low it is from sitting on the jig to the middle of the wheel, and then that is where I will stick this part here. So about 14 inches will actually give me another quarter of an inch from here. So I think I like that. So it gives me a little bit more. Yeah, so if I ride center of 14, right now we're at 14 and a quarter. I'm gonna go down a quarter, 14. That should put me where I wanna be. I'm gonna put the wheel right about here. I think that's gonna be that's gonna look really, really good. I mean, I wish if I could stand back and show you guys, but this is gonna look, you can kind of see what I'm talking about with how big the wheel is compared to the frame. And the bigger the wheel gives the frame this like sunk down look. And it just makes everything look bigger, makes the frame almost kind of look smaller. I don't know, it's hard to explain, but anyway, the loop will come back attached to the seat. So I'm liking that. I think that's where I want to be. Alright guys, off camera I went ahead and raised this up so you guys can see, like, this is where it was. 14 inches centered to the bottom. That's going to give me about another quarter of an inch from where it sits here. So I'm barely, a little more than 2 fingers down there. I got it to where I want it. We are going to have to do some custom dropouts. These are not going to work, but that's okay. I already talked to John. Told him let me get a template worked out, which is what I'm going to do. You can see here now that if I bolt this to there, that needs to sit about there. It just doesn't sit right, you know. I need this to cover up. I want that to cover, so I'm going to I'll have that run there, down, and then figure out the same thing on this one, which that one's not too bad, but I still want it to be, you know, I still want it to have a nice round look, something like that, you guys can see. So yeah, I'm gonna draw one up real quick. Basically, we're just gonna have to have it come up higher and down, and then it doesn't need to be flat, it needs to roll with that. So let's go over to the table, draw something up. Alright, so just to give me a rough idea, I already know that I need this to be about the same. So we'll put this on here and we'll trace it out exactly how it is. Now, I need it's more like this front here needs to come up some. So I want to draw it like that. More like that, and we definitely gonna want this to be rounded. And then from there, we can tie it in. It's all guesswork until we put it up on there and find out what it's gonna do. This one here, I kind of want it to go. We'll see how it's gonna work when I cut it out. One thing for sure, I know this leg here is gonna need to be, so this leg is the same as the top one. This leg's gonna need to be bent a lot more because I need it to flow and I need the distance to be about the same. So with this going here, you can kind of see where we're at. I can move, I don't want to move this up too high, because once I move it up too high, that's where my spring and seat are gonna sit. So the spring is here. I can go to a smaller spring if I need to, but I do got a little tab that's gonna sit there. So if I need to go to a smaller spring, no big deal. I'm digging that though. So I'm gonna shoot this over to John, let him cut this out for me. And if I need to do any shaping once it's here, that's what we'll do. So for now, we're gonna call it a night. Hopefully get back on this. We've still got plenty of stuff to do. I need to cut the bottom bracket out over there and keep moving forward from there. So I'll see you guys tomorrow. So next day, really don't have a whole lot I can do right now. I did go ahead and I sent the bottom bracket out to John. I drew it up, cut it, sent it out to him. I do have a few more spoons that I can go ahead and keep working my way up if I want to. I do need to cut the bottom bracket. Kind of want to wait on this just because I think I'm going to cut directly through, and then I'm going to have this will be all floppy. So I might wait on that. All I can do is a few more of these and then kind of wait. Let's get that little bit done that I can do. Still got plenty of spoons to grind up. I did actually went over to another dollar store and found some more, like quite a bit more. Bam. But I didn't realize that they were bigger. But what I could do if I need to is I could actually grind these down to this smaller shape if I need to. So that may be what I end up doing. They're not that much off, you can see. So what I can do is just draw a line, trace these out. Just gives me more grinding to do, but I do got these I can do. So I'm gonna knock those out real quick. I'm not gonna make you guys watch me do that again. I'm gonna just grind them. We'll get them up on the frame and see how far it takes us. Well, so that didn't do a whole lot. Got just past the dragon head with them, but still got to get underneath there. And yeah, this is, I mean, that was 10 spoons, and it only went from here to here. So I'm getting like 2 inches out of it. That's what she said, right? Anyway, yeah, so hopefully the 70 plus that I have coming in on this Thursday. That's like 70 spoons coming in. Hopefully that will be enough. I think it will. Maybe I need to start running them a little bit longer. Ooh, that's hot. But I don't know, because I really like it. I like it. I want it nice and tight, and I don't want to see a bunch of gaps, and you know, really make this thing stand out. So I need to cut this fender. I need to get it around really nice and cut these little tabs off of here. So I might as well go ahead and do that, because waiting until the last minute is going to stink. So I need to get something that will allow me to round this off perfectly, and then we're going to cut that because we no longer need that anymore. So I took this hoop here, and it looks like it fits the outside diameter of this thing pretty good. Like it's end to end. So I just went ahead and traced around where I think I need to be, and I can fine tune it later with a grinder. So I'll just go in there with the flap disc and really fine tune it. I've done a fender similar to this before on my build-off bike from, if you guys can see it up there. So very similar, where I took a front bagger fender from a Harley and I sectioned it. That was a little harder because it was a 26x5, so it was super wide, another inch wider than that. So that one had to be sectioned and moved and bent to really get around the wheel. It didn't sit around the wheel correctly, so it had to be chopped and all that stuff. But I don't have to do that on this one, so it should be a little bit more easy. Yeah, a little bit more easy. That's English. Alright, so you guys can see such a good fit. It's just laying down right now, but you get an idea like how good of a fit that is. How it sits right here,
It wraps perfectly around the wheel. We're gonna have plenty of room. This is with it laying, this is laying down, so, but you guys get the idea. Plenty of room inside of there, so there won't be any rubbing. Yeah, so it'll come down out there. Yeah, that's gonna be so good. So all we'll have to do, and what basically the way it's gonna sit is when it's sitting on the back of the bike, the fender itself will be here, so the bike will be directioned that way. All right, so next thing on that will be, how do we want to mount this fender? I've got a few different ways that I can do it. On my turquoise bike, they're the teal one, I ran these little like nubs here, and then what these are already self-tapped, and you can either run a floating bracket. So you'd run a floating bracket where this would basically bolt through the fender and onto here, and then this is mounted to the frame. So you have like this and like this. That's a cool way to do it. Also, you can do a side solid strut. So like I did on this bike here, is you get yourself some solid round stock and you bend it into a round shape and you attach it to something that will allow you to bolt. You would bolt this on the inside. So the bolt would go on the inside of here, and it's flat, so to stay away from the wheel, and then fender bolts on. Strut goes from here to something on the frame if you want the frame to you want that strut to be able to be removable. So a tool that I do have, and I never use it, but I got it because I thought I wanted to make rings. Just to give you guys kind of idea, here's some, this isn't thick enough, I wouldn't use this, but this is round stock, and this is a very small roller bender from Woodward Fab. And you can stick round tube in there, you could stick flat stock in there, and it'll actually ring. You can make a complete ring out of just flat stock. This is flat aluminum, but it makes a complete ring. So if I want to run something like this and bend my own solid struts, I can, because when you stick that in there, you just tighten this down here. As soon as you start rolling it, if I'd have this attached to the ground, it would help, but there you go. So you can see it instantly starts to roll it. And then you get and of course you can do this stuff by leg. You don't need this tool, but I wanted it, and they're not super expensive, and I knew I'd use it one day, but I never have. But I will someday. That's kind of a neat tool to have in the shop for situations like this if I want to run that on the fender. Don't know if I will. But I think I'm going to call it, guys. I don't really have anything else to do right now, and I don't think that I'm going to have anything in by the time this video goes up anyway. So let's just call it a night, call it a day, call it a week. Maybe next week we can make more progress, I hope. We really got to get that bottom bracket, or the dropouts to come in so that we can get the legs started, and the spoons to come in so that we can finish the scales. But you guys, at least you're seeing the idea of what I'm coming up with. I'm still nowhere near done. There's still some other ideas I have in my head for things I want to do. Probably going to need to find some help to do it, because it does have to do with woodworking, and I'm no woodworker. So we'll see. But anyway, until next time, guys, please like, comment, and subscribe if you can, because it does really help the algorithm. Like I said, I am trying to get to 10,000 subscribers. If I can do so, I got something big planned. So thanks again, guys. See you next week.